Do you ever feel like you are falling behind? You are 25 and you see your friends buying houses and cars. You are 30 and you see kids making millions overnight on social media. You look at yourself, you work hard, you wake up early, you stay up late, but your results seem to be standing still. You start to panic. You want to run faster. You want that overnight success, just like them. But wait. Before you burn yourself out in that hopeless race, I want to tell you a story. A story about a silent war taking place right beneath your feet, in the dark, cold earth. A war between the one who chose speed and the one who chose eternity. If you feel lonely on your journey today, this story is for you. Listen closely, because this tree is your life. Deep within the compacted black earth, where the sun's fingers had never reached, there lay an eternal silence. It was not the silence of death, but the pregnant silence of waiting. The scent of damp soil, of leaves decayed over 1,000 years, and the smell of unformed dreams mingled together, creating an atmosphere that was at once suffocating and safe. Here, two entities lay side by side. They had no form yet, no names, just two tiny seeds carrying within them the genetic codes of destiny. One was the acorn, the oak seed, with a shell that was tough, rugged, dark brown like the color of the Mother Earth. The other was the spore, the fern seed, tiny, lightweight, with a delicate casing ready to burst open at a moment's notice. How long had they lain there? No one knew. Perhaps a week, perhaps a winter that felt like a lifetime. "Hey!" The whisper of the fern seed broke the stillness, a voice trembling with impatient fever. "Do you hear that? The rain! The spring rain is coming!" The acorn shifted slightly, feeling the gentle vibration from the ground above. "I hear it," the oak replied, its voice deep and slow, like an echo from an ancient cave. "The earth is warming up." "I cannot bear this darkness for another second," the fern complained, its casing beginning to itch. "I feel a fire burning inside me. I want to see the light. I want to drink the dew. I want to be caressed by the wind. Why must we lie here like the dead?" The oak remained silent for a long time. It did not rush. Within its genetic code, ancestors had passed down a memory spanning centuries. Greatness is never built overnight. "We are not dead, my friend," the oak replied. "We are preparing. Do you know how harsh the world up there is? If you rush out without your armor, the wind will tear you apart. The sun will scorch you. You worry too much, you lumbering lump. Life is a race. Whoever gets to the finish line first wins. Whoever captures the light first rules. You stay there and prepare your armor. I am going ahead." And then the first heavy shower of spring poured down. Water seeped through the layers of humus, threading through the crevices of the soil, carrying cool life to touch the two seeds. It was the moment of choice. The fern, with a fierce desire for the surface, burst its shell wide open. It drank the water greedily, channeling all its energy to push a shoot through the earth's crust. It chose speed. And the oak? It drank too, but it did not push its energy upward. It channeled its energy inward. It used that water to densify its core. It did not sprout yet. It chose accumulation. Two mindsets, two destinies began to diverge right there in the dark. The third day after the rain. The ground cracked open. A shoot of emerald green, beautifully curled, unfurled to catch the sun. It was the fern. It stretched, spreading out leaves cut in exquisite saw-tooth patterns. The sensation of the wind weaving through its fronds was intoxicating. "Hello, world!" the fern shouted. It looked down at the ground where the acorn still lay silent. "Hey, oak! Are you still sleeping? You are missing everything. The sun here tastes like honey. The air smells of freedom. You are truly the dullest creature in this forest." Underground, the oak remained silent. But it was not sleeping. It was working harder than anyone. While the fern poured its energy into growing leaves, the oak was enduring a flesh-tearing pain to grow roots. To sustain a colossal trunk in the future, the root system must come first. The oak compressed its sap, driving a taproot through hard clay, weaving past sharp rocks. It was painful work, solitary and unseen. No sunlight, no applause, only darkness and the rough friction of gravel. A week passed. The fern had grown tall and voluptuous. It began to multiply. From one shoot, it spread into a bush. Its leaves were lush green, shading a corner of the forest. And then its audience arrived. Gray rabbits hopped by, seeing the shade of the fern, and stopped to rest. "Oh, this plant grows so fast. Just last week this place was bare. Now it is a cool paradise." A red fox trotted by, nuzzling into the soft leaves of the fern. So soft, what an ideal place for hide and seek. The fern held its head high, shivering its leaves with pride. It had become the center of attention. It felt successful. It looked to its side. By now, the oak had only just pushed up a tiny sprout, barely the height of a finger, with two small, pale, reddish-brown leaves, looking weak and pathetic. "Look at that," the fern sneered to the rabbits. "That is my neighbor. We were born on the same day. But look, he looks more like a weed than a tree. How embarrassing." The rabbits looked at the oak, shook their heads, and hopped away. No one wanted to play with a tiny sapling that offered no shade. The oak heard it all. It heard the fern's laughter, the rabbit's dismissal, and the sigh of the wind. Was it sad? Yes. Did it doubt itself? Yes. In the long, cold nights, while the fern slept soundly in its glory, the tiny oak asked itself, "Am I wrong? Why did I choose this hard path? Why must I drive my roots into the cold groundwater when I could be drinking evening dew like the fern? Why must I build this rigid wood instead of soft leaves?" But then, the ancient instinct of its ancestors echoed in its sap. Do not look at the canopy of others to measure your height. Look at the depth of your roots to measure your stability. What comes fast, leaves fast. What is built by time, time will protect. The oak swallowed its tears and continued to push its root down another millimeter. It understood that this war was not about fighting for the glory of today, but a war of survival for the storm of tomorrow. The fern lived for the now. The oak lived for eternity. Pause for a moment. Have you ever stood in the shadow of a fern in your own life? Maybe it is a colleague who got promoted before you, or a friend who became famous overnight while you are still grinding in the dark. It stings, doesn't it? You feel like you are doing something wrong. You feel like the oak, slow, invisible, and foolish. But do not let your eyes deceive you. The summer sun is rising, and the real test is about to begin. Let's see how long that glory really lasts. Summer arrived with a suffocating heat. The forest transformed into a vibrant stage, and the fern was its brightest star on the forest floor. By now, the fern was not just a sprout, it had exploded into a dense, luxuriant thicket. Its long, intricately cut fronds stretched out, weaving together to form a thick green carpet that dominated its patch of earth. It wasn't tall, but it was wide, aggressively choking out the weeds around it. Beetles with iridescent shells chose the fern's leaves for their midnight balls. Red squirrels chased each other, diving into the thick foliage for hide and seek. Even a sleek red fox, with its fiery coat, chose the cool, dark hollow beneath the fern's dense leaves to hide from the scorching midday sun. The fern was ecstatic. It felt the sap rushing through its delicate fibers like adrenaline. It believed this was the pinnacle of existence. "Look at me, oak!" the fern shouted, shivering its dew-covered fronds. "Do you see that fox? He chose me. This whole little world chooses me. Do you know why? Because I know how to adorn the earth. And you squinted at the tiny, spindly stick beside it. You are just a bare wooden stake. Not even a beetle bothers to land on you." The oak heard it all. It did not answer immediately. It was busy. Summer brought not only sun, but thirst. The ground began to crack. The shallow water tables, where the fern's roots lived, were drying up. While the fern was busy showing off its elaborate leaves, which were losing water rapidly, its roots began to feel the deficit. But the fern ignored it. It was too distracted by its own beauty. The oak was different. It sensed the drought long before the earth cracked. Its taproot, after months of silent digging in the dark, had now reached the second aquifer, a depth the shallow-rooted fern could never dream of reaching. The oak drank cool, refreshing water from 5 meters underground, storing it in its small but dense wooden stem. "My friend," the oak spoke, its voice deep, "stop spreading your leaves so wide. The earth is drying. Spend some energy driving your roots deeper. I smell change in the wind." "Preaching again," the fern laughed hysterically. "You are jealous, aren't you? You are jealous because that soft fur doesn't brush against your bark. You want me to bury myself in the black mud? Never. I was born to beautify this forest, to catch the first dew, not to be a digger like you." The oaks fell silent. It saw what the fern did not. It saw that the fern's roots were merely clinging to the loose topsoil and decaying leaves, a soft, unstable layer. The fern's grip was not stability. It was parasitism on the temporary peace of the weather. Change did not come gradually. It came suddenly, like a slap from fate. That afternoon, the sky, once a brilliant blue, turned the color of bruised lead. The air grew heavy, suffocatingly still. The birds stopped singing. The squirrels vanished into their holes. The forest fell silent, a terrifying silence that heralded destruction. The oak shuddered. It tightened its grip on the rocks below. It closed the stomata on its leaves to conserve water. It shifted into battle mode. "Prepare yourself, fern," the oak warned, its voice urgent. "It is here." "What is here?" the fern asked blankly, its delicate leaves trembling as the air pressure dropped. Boom! Thunder tore the sky apart, followed by the first wind. Not the cool breeze of summer, but an invisible, razor-sharp blade. The storm arrived with the fury of a starving beast. The wind howled, whipping the trees like lashes on skin. Rain fell like thousands of liquid arrows. In the first moments, the fern tried to dance with the wind. It thought it could bend. But this wind did not want a performance. It wanted to uproot everything in its path. The fern's sprawling, dense thicket, its greatest pride, now became its death sentence. The massive surface area caught the full force of the gale. It was like a giant sail hoisted in a typhoon, but the boat beneath, the roots, had no anchor. "Help me, oak!" the fern screamed, its voice lost in the roar of thunder. Its stem twisted painfully. The shallow roots clinging to the topsoil began to slip. It felt the earth beneath it loosen. The flashy attachment it had relied on was betraying it. The oak was in pain too. The wind lashed its young wood, bending it dangerously, but it did not break. Why? Because of the fulcrum. The oak had a solid anchor point 5 meters deep, locked into bedrock. The wind could bend the top, but it could not move the base. The oak gritted its fibers, straining, but it stood like a Spartan warrior on the battlefield. A Category 12 gust hit. This was the finishing blow. The fern had no chance left. With a dry, sickening snap, the entire fern bush was ripped from the earth. It was tossed into the air, spinning like a kite with a cut string, its beautiful leaves shredded to pieces. In its final moment, it looked down and saw the oak. The oak was still there, battered, scratched, but standing. The fern vanished into the black night of the storm. No more applause, no more glory, only nothingness. The storm raged all night. The oak fought alone. No one witnessed its bravery, but it needed no witnesses. Its existence the next morning was the loudest proof. Violence, destruction, and then silence. The fern is gone. But ask yourself, was it bad luck? Was the wind unfair? No. Nature is never unfair. Nature is just honest. The fern failed, not because the storm was too strong, but because its preparation was too weak. It spent all its time looking good and no time getting strong. Now, look at your own life. When the economic storm hits, or when tragedy strikes, and they will strike, what will hold you down? Your likes, your appearance, or something deeper? Let's fast forward 50 years to see the true reward of the oak's patience. The sun rose, illuminating the brutality of the previous night. The forest was strangely quiet. Where the proud fern thicket once stood, there was now only a gaping, muddy void. The lush green fronds that once sheltered the red fox and the rabbits lay shredded and scattered like the debris of a broken dream. Beside that empty hole, the little oak sapling stood. It was not as pretty as yesterday. A few young branches were snapped, its bark was scratched, but its base, the junction between trunk and earth, had not moved a single millimeter. It had won, not because it was bigger than the storm, but because it was deeper than the storm. Time passed like a blink of the universe's eye. 50 winters came and went, 50 summers returned. The forest changed. New ferns sprouted, flourished, and died with every winter, repeating a short, endless cycle. But in the center of the forest, the little oak sapling had transformed into a titan. Its trunk was now so massive that 3 men could not encircle it. Its canopy no longer hugged the ground. It soared into the clouds, offering shelter to thousands of creatures. Its roots had woven a massive subterranean web, holding the soil of the entire hill together, preventing landslides whenever the floods came. It no longer needed to envy anyone. It was the definition of stability. My friend, does this story sound familiar? We are living in the age of the fern. Open your phone. What do you see? 20-year-old crypto millionaires, viral stars born overnight on TikTok, peers buying houses and cars while you struggle with rent. They are like the fern in year 2, bright, loud, and commanding all the attention. You look at yourself, you feel like the oak in year 2, slow, hidden, and seemingly stagnant. You feel panic, you want to quit, you want to grow leaves fast instead of growing roots. But listen to Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher. No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. Life is not a 100-meter dash. Life is an 80-year marathon. The ferns around you might be winning the first 20 meters, but the road of life is filled with storms, economic crises, loss, illness, failure. When those storms hit, the shallow glories, luxury cars, internet fame, likes will be blown away like the fern leaves. Only your roots will hold you. What are your roots? They are the skills you build late at night while others party. They are the discipline you forge every morning while others sleep. They are the integrity you keep when no one is watching. Do not fear the darkness. Do not fear the loneliness of the rooting process. Remember, the height of a tree is proportional to the depth of its roots. If you want to touch the sky, you must be willing to dig deep into the dark, cold, hard earth. Today, turn off your phone. Do not let the flashy, short-lived glory of the ferns distract you, and start growing your own deep roots right now.